Can anybody hear me? Is anybody here? Okay, okay. We'll begin, right? Now, today we're talking about the monetization of nature. I hope you can hear me. Oh, well, I'm just here by myself. We're talking about the monetization of nature. We're talking about NAC, right? Now, this is all courtesy of our elite bankers. We have the Rockefeller Foundation and the New York Stock Exchange that they come together to create a new asset class, and it will put the natural world up for sale, right? Now, they intend to do this on the guise of sustainability, climate change, the rest. That's what they intend to do. But what they are doing, they are monetizing nature, right? Now, if you go to the website IEG, which is the Intrinsic Exchange Group, right? They will give you a lot of information on what they are hoping to achieve. Now, going on the website, I pulled this information. IEG is pioneering a new asset class based on nature and the benefit that nature provides, termed ecosystem services. These system includes carbon capture, soil fertility, and water purification, amongst others. This new asset class is the foundation of a new form of corporation called a natural asset company, right? And you all need to be concerned about this. You definitely need to, because all of this planning between the IEG Group, the New York Stock, Stock Exchange, and your elite bankers, all of this planning happens around 2 years ago, right? So what else is going on that started 2 years ago? It's as if these people are working from a script, right? And you got to ask if they've got some sort of an oracle, some sort of a profit working for them. Because when they are putting nature up for monetization, it only tells me that something is about to happen to nature, right? That is what that is telling me. No, what is up for monetization? Again, I'll go back to IEG because that's where I get my information from, most of it. No, let me read this for you so you understand just exactly what is up for monetization. Natural asset companies based on natural areas focus on protecting, expanding, and restoring natural, terrestrial, and marine ecosystem. For example, forests. What is going to happen to the forest? Why these people feel they need to monetize the forest, grasslands, wetlands, coral reef. Protecting these areas will enhance biodiversity and ecosystem service production, right? Now, let's continue with the article. Creating a financial mechanism to protect, restore, and grow natural areas is at the core of what IEG is designed to do. Now, IEG, a percentage of IEG is owned by the New York Stock Exchange, so you know. And you know that your elite bankers is also involved with this monetization of nature. And anywhere you find one elite banker, rest assured the rest is there, right? Let's continue with this article. Natural areas underpinned by diversity are inherently valuable, and of themselves they also contribute life supporting services upon which humanity and the global economy depends. These include provisions, services such as food, right? Food, water, timber, and genetic resources, regulating services that affect climate, food, diseases, and water quality, cultural services that provide recreational, aesthetic, and spiritual benefit, and supporting services such as soil formation, photosynthesis, and nutrient cycling, right? These people are putting nature on the stock exchange, and you need to be very concerned, right? Because by doing so, they are letting you know something is about to happen to nature, right? Something is about to happen where they can say, we have clean hair over this side, right? And we monetize it. So we say who gets clean hair, clean water, who gets good soil, and who gets to enjoy this atmosphere. Connect the dots, people, and understand that this is very sinister, right? And evil don't take a day off, so we cannot over here take a day off. Now we got another article here from Nexus, and this is by a Whitney Webb, a well-written article, right? Now we're going to talk about the owners of NAC, and we pick up the article from here because we need to know who own it. However, the NAC and its employees, directors, and owners are not necessarily the owners of the natural asset itself following this final step. Instead, as IEG notes, the NAC is merely the issuer, while the potential buyers of natural assets the NAC represents can include institutional investors, private investors, individuals and institutions, corporations, sovereign wealth funds, and multilateral development banks. So if you think that these natural asset clauses that they are coming up is going to be of benefit to individuals in poor countries, no, it won't, right? It is just another way to loot the developing world. No, as I said before, something is about to happen, and that is why they feel the need to own water and fresh air. Another thing I noticed on the IEG website, right, is soil. They were talking about agriculture as it relates to soil. Let me get my notes, right? So we can go over um, the soil part of what these people intend to do because I did not know what is really going on. Listen to this. Farmers are currently compensated for producing commodity crops, but for not producing clean air, water, healthy food, soil, and stable climate. Our wildlife habitat collectively, natural capital and ecosystem service, yet producing these essential goods and services and managing resources wisely is valuable or perhaps even more valuable than food production. And you all need, what's this? You all need to be very concerned about what they are disguising as sustainability. This is nothing more than a Trojan horse. And a lot of people don't see it because it is not a trending topic, right? No, here's another part that is of concern, and this has to do with the soil. Now, they say soil is one of the largest potential sinks for removing CO2 from the atmosphere. So farming carbon back into the soil could restore the carbon that they are saying that is warming the climate, right? So when they till the soil to plant crops, it releases carbon, right? So in order to pull carbon back out of the atmosphere, they've got to plant what is known as cover crops to conserve the soil, right? Now, when it comes on to that part of soil conservation, you all need to be concerned as well, right? Because it is only going to mean less crop productivity. And all of this is coming under the guise of sustainability. Notice they are coming out of COVID and they are bringing a new conversation, which is climate change. right on time for the NACs that they are looking to put on the stock market, right? So somebody will have the right to say who have the right to clean water and who have the right to nature, to clean air, everything that makes life possible on this little rock known as Earth. They are monetizing nature, right? It is not a trending topic. Most people won't see it coming, but prepare for 2022 because this was 2 years in the making, right? It was 2 years in the making, and they know exactly what they are doing. And whatever is going to happen that will destroy nature, that will destroy the ecosystem, they are preparing for it, right? I don't know. It's just a new way to loot developing countries. And it is just a land grab. That is all this thing is. And you need to pay attention to it because it is coming to a country near you and they're going to sell you the idea, right? They're going to sell you the idea and telling you that this is for sustainability. We need the money so that we can use it to preserve these areas for future generation. That is how they are going to sell you this thing because they know something is definitely coming, right? And they intend to trick you out of your humanity. Now, let me read this the article coming from Fortune, what the chief operating officer of the New York Stock Exchange has to say. And he said there haven't historically been mechanism to encourage the capital formation necessary to preserve and restore the natural assets that ultimately underpin the ability for there to be life on Earth. New York Stock Exchange Chief Operating Officer Michael Blondgry, Blondgrundy, hope I got his name right, told Fortune. So the big board is helping to create one. Aren't they generous? Aren't they so generous that they are helping to create a fund that will provide the finances to protect the ecosystem, to protect the forest, to protect the water, right? This is mighty suspicious, right? Now, listen to this part from the Fortune. Using NAC, governments, farmers, and the owners of natural assets will be able to form a specialized corporation that owns the rights, to the ecosystem. You hear that? Services produced on a given chunk of land. Services like carbon sequestration or clean water. No, the carbon sequestration, hope I got it right, is a natural or artificial process by which carbon dioxide is removed from the atmosphere and held in the soil, right? And remember, when you till the soil, they say it releases a lot of carbon dioxide. So right there, they are telling you we can't afford to plant a lot of food to feed useless eaters, right? Now, let us continue. The company will tap the US public markets by way of the New York Stock Exchange like any other entity would. The difference is that instead of using the capital raise to shore up a balance sheet fund and M&A or buy back stock down, management in the US at the end management in the US at the end of 2019 was managed with a sustainable, sustainable investment strategy. Our hope is that owning natural asset company is going to be a way that an increasingly broad range of investors have the ability to invest in something that intricately valuable but up to this point was really excluded from the financial market, the chief executive officer of the New York Stock Exchange said. Right? Now, when they're going to talk about a natural way of removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and putting it back in the soil. That area is of concern, right? As I said before, tilling the soil, as they explain, releases carbon dioxide. And therefore, they decided that they're going to come up with a new way of doing of land preservation. Now, there is a scientist known as Ratan Lal, and he helped start a movement based on the idea that carbon can be put back into the soil, a process known as regenerative agriculture. Now, once the land is still for farming, the carbon is released into the air. So they have introduced measures to put it back. Now, one measure is applying compost, another is employing and manage grazing for animals. They also have this one known as planting cover crops, which will protect the soil and prevent soil erosion while adding nutrients. Now, cover crops can be like radishes or turnips or sunflowers. So if you plant 4,000 acres worth of corn and you reap it, usually farmers would leave the land bare. So what they're saying now is that they should plant cover crops to replenish the soil, and then they remove these cover crops and then plant the next cycle of crops. But the question is this: how much carbon can be stored this way and for how long? Right? Now, this method to me, coming from an agriculture background, is nothing more than a rehash of crop rotation, right? It's just crop rotation for me because if you want to have healthy leafy vegetables like spinach, cabbage, it is always good to have legume plants before, that is peas and beans, because they release nitrogen into the soil naturally. So you don't have to use any fertilizers, right? So to me, this new way that the scientist Ratan Lal is coming up with, known as cover crops, is just um, crop rotation. That is how I'm seeing it, right? But whichever way it works, whatever they're selling, understand for 2022, they're going to bring this thing up where they're going to monetize nature. That is what we're faced with. It is not a trending topic. I wish more people would talk about it and alert the public to what is coming, right? Because evil don't take a day off, and they know what is about to happen, right? They know something is about to happen that will destroy nature, that will destroy the ecosystem, that will destroy the soil and the clean water. So they need to start this thing off. They need to start it, get the ball rolling, right? And another thing you need to understand, it is outlined clearly that the people in these particular countries won't necessarily be the owners of these areas. So, for example, you've got an area in Africa that have clean water and they put it on the stock market. The Africans won't be the one to benefit from it and they won't be the one to own it, even though it is located in Africa. Nothing new there. But they are talking about monetizing nature, monetizing clean air. The evidence is in black and white. It is there for you to research and see for yourself. I really don't like long drawn out live videos, I should say. So you can go and do the research. You can pick up the December January edition of Nexus magazine. It will explain in detail what these people are doing to nature. You can also go to the website of IEG, right? That is the Intrinsic Exchange Group. And this New York Stock Exchange also got invested interest in this group, right? I know that this is a new way of robbing the third world under the guise of sustainability and climate change. Very, very clever. And if you go on the various website, you will see how it is presented beautiful to charm you. So right out of straight out of COVID, it is all about NAC. It is all about selling and monetizing nature. And the people who sits on the land, they won't own it. That's for sure, right? No, we need to pray, right? Thanks for joining me. And I'm glad I was able to do this at a live because usually these entities decide that it's not going to happen. And hopefully I'll be able to do more live. So let us pray and say, Glory be to the Most High.